Okay, so this video is about the Bogner Uberschall and the models of it in the HX Stomp and Helix. Now before I get into that, I'd ask if you want to like and subscribe, you maybe could, but also if you could make some suggestions for videos you might want to see me try and do with the Helix. I'm trying to do stuff which is at least vaguely interesting to a couple of you, so if you could leave comments on that front, hopefully that'll make some videos appear from the ether that might be useful to you. Anyway, let's dig into it. So, worth saying from the outset that I think this is probably not a model for everyone, certainly on the heavier side of stuff. So, I looked at the manual and what this says about this amp, Ubersonic or Uberschall actually stands for supersonic. So the idea is like this metal machine which kind of has a lot of low end. So as you back the drive off, you're going to stay in this heavy realm. For that reason, it's really only going to appeal, I'd imagine, to people that are into rock or heavier stuff. Now the manual suggests starting at this kind of point of everything at 6 or 1 o'clock, and I'll tell you cab choice that I've made here, 4x12 Cali V30. There is a Bogner cab which you could also try with this, 57 dynamic here, and then as we go across a V30 with a ribbon mic. So that's all I've got going on here, and as I say, it suggests starting at everything kind of 6 o'clock. Here's how that would sound. As you can hear, can kind of clean up on the old volume control. Now, one control that doesn't actually do what you might expect is this presence control. So as you bring this down, essentially it becomes more scooped, I think. So we'll put it all the way to 0. And you'd expect that to make things spiky as you turned it up, but if you listen to what actually happens, as we turn all the way to 10, that's essentially a mids control, right? And that's what I think is the most important control on this amp, because it makes such a big difference. So stock settings, it will have it at 6.3. And I think I liked it kind of up around 7.9. Can kind of do that chunky stuff quite nicely as well. The bass control supposedly is going to control the... So you could take that down if you want to do some more tight kind of gainy stuff. And it says to be careful with this bass control, so stock settings at 4. Manual suggests starting at 6. And I'm imagining the mid control also does that mid thing. So you can get very scooped. And you can smooth things out by turning down the treble if you want. Stock settings then are close to 6. So yeah, that presence control not going to be doing what you expect it to do. Think about it as another kind of mids control really. Then the other thing I wanted to show you is that this Line 6 electric, supposedly from what I read online, is also based on like an older emulation of a Bogner Uber as well. And you can kind of hear it sounds a bit similar. So similarly, the presence control does that quirky thing of boosting the mix. And again, since it's the Bogner Uber, I'm going to suggest we follow the manual and start with everything at 6 and see what happens. This model actually doesn't respond to cleaning up quite as well. Probably a bit more gain. But what I wanted to show you was something that I found. If you use the German Ubersonic on one side and then the Line 6 electric on the other, going into a dual cab, you kind of get a really cool kind of sound, I think. Really chunky, and especially considering that this doesn't have anything driving the front of it. This is just the amp gain. A really cool sound, I think. I like the way that those respond. Especially, it's going to be really only for this higher gain sort of stuff that I think you'll find much use for it. But I think 1 or 2 people might actually get some enjoyment out of this kind of preset. So I'll drop that into the folder. This is the ElekPresetDUB, and this is what I was using for that intro. So it's kind of 2 takes on a Bogner Uber. One is the more recent German Ubersonic, and one is the one that was superseded. I think the Line 6 electric, I think based on what I read online and based on how that presence control responds, was also based on a Bogner Uberschall. So that's that amp. Not one of the best amps in the Helix, I don't think. Not the most useful, but I think a really big chunky metal sound. I'll catch you in another video soon. Cheers.